40,000 workers, 100 employers, 400 ships a year, and annual taxation of over Rs 1500 crore. Why then is the world's largest center for shipbreaking little more than a site of unsettling disparity? Welcome to Alang, the graveyard of ships. While Bangladesh, Pakistan, China, and Turkey are also players in the shipbreaking industry, India dominates. Of 807 ships demolished worldwide between January and October 2011, almost half met their end on the beaches of Alang in Gujarat, which is a 10-kilometer long stretch of shipbreaking yards overseen by a government body, the Gujarat Maritime Board. When the running costs of a ship exceed the returns she offers, it is time for her to set sail for the last time. With assistance from online brokers, discarded ships from across the globe find themselves headed towards shipbreaking yards located on the beaches of a few developing countries. Alang's high intertidal gradient allows ships to beach such that when the tide recedes, a convenient dry dock is obtained. Inspections by the Customs and Port Authorities, the Gujarat Pollution Control Board, the Petroleum Explosion Board, and a neutral surveyor follow. Then, when the moon is high and the tide is right, the ship is brought to shore. Not surprisingly, Alang fills a specific gap in the Indian economy. The steel obtained from Alang is suitable raw material for Tier 2 industries and prevents the potential duopoly of Tata Steel and SAIL. Local brokers even claim that 1/3 of the country's steel quota is met by the shipbreaking yards without any consequential impact on quality.
As far as this economy is concerned, ship recycling is doing a major role in the Indian economy is concerned, because in terms of we are breaking somewhere around 3 million tons of steel in per annum. So in terms of custom and excise, we are giving a huge revenue to the central government, as well as the VAT and GMB charges and so many other charges by the state government. As far as the central government revenue is concerned, we are paying somewhere around 1500 crore rupees in the terms of the custom and excise duty.
The industry's dependence on tidal energy and manual labor translates to minimal use of resources like water, electricity, and low capital investment. Economic slowdowns are a good time for the industry, since ship owners then choose to junk scrap-worthy ships for a sum instead of letting them sit idle. Over 1,200 ships have been demolished at Alang since the 2008 global recession. Capital investment required for producing 2 million tons of steel through ship recycling is about Rs 300 crore. An alternative method would require up to Rs 6,000 crore. Ships are stripped such that all components are recovered and sold off. The second-hand market is in itself a profit-making enterprise.
The ship recycling is a mother industry, and there are so many ancillary industries depending on that, which is located surrounding the Bhavnagar area, which is just like a rolling mill, then a furnace plant, then profile cutting industry, and oxygen manufacturing industry, and this other just like a furniture selling and all those things. So after this conversion, they are also paying a difference of this conversion rate to the central government and state government, as well as the excise duty is concerned and the VAT is concerned. So somewhere around 2 lakhs people are depending on the ancillary industry, just like an oxygen plant, then transportation and everything. So as far as the economy is concerned, as Bhavnagar district is totally depending on the ship recycling industry.
Economic benefits aside, the lack of strict environmental regulations in developing countries are another reason why these sites are chosen for shipbreaking. It is easier to get rid of older ships that contain asbestos, a material banned for use in construction since 1985. Alang and its subsidiary industries have faced environmental abuse all along. Ships laden with asbestos and coated with toxic paints continue to come in, albeit fewer than before. The shipbreaking industry and its offshoots struggle to maintain a positive equation with the environment. In India, a Supreme Court intervention in 2003 outlined permissible pollution levels. Recent official data shows that pollution levels at Alang adhere to legal parameters. However, questions continue to be raised about this peculiar system of toxic colonialism when ships come in without prior decontamination by the ship owners. Prolonged exposure to toxic components has made workers extremely vulnerable to asbestosis and respiratory disorders. gas explosions in the engine room continue to take the lives of many. To combat this, the 2003 judgment also necessitated protective personal equipment for workers.
We have masks for dusty operations. Most people don't wear them all the time. It's not that bad. Only if you are in a dusty zone, I think people wear them. The gears of the gas cutters, they are more sort of thoroughly looked after. They have eyeglasses, dark glasses, eye protection, helmets, gloves. We provide the workers, they're not very comfortable with some things. You know, some things don't go with our climate. For example, shoes don't go very easily in our climate. Otherwise, most personal protective gear has been accepted by the worker very easily.
While adequate distribution and use of protective personal equipment varies sharply across yards at Alang, the risk is high throughout. Scant regard for workers' rights and safety makes developing countries a convenient spot for shipbreaking. Alang is thus home to cheap unskilled labor that is unorganized, voiceless, and powerless. Workers have been coming in from Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and Orissa since the industry was set up in 1983 to take up work shunned by the Gujarati population in and around Alang. Presently, approximately 40,000 migrant workers carry out operations at the world's largest shipbreaking yard. The work is divided between battiwalas, who use oxygen cylinders manufactured at nearby oxygen plants, and the load lifters. Monthly wages range between Rs 6,000 and Rs 12,000, with mukaddams or supervisors receiving the highest wages. However, Alang lacks the basic infrastructure necessary for workers to be able to spend wisely.
જે મજૂરો માટે ત્યાં વસાહત કરવાની એ જે વાત ચાલે છે તે વર્ષોથી માત્ર કાગળ ઉપર જ છે. રોજની કરોડો રૂપિયાની સેન્ટ્રલ ગવર્મેન્ટ અને સ્ટેટ ગવર્મેન્ટને આવક છે જેની રેવન્યુની, તેમ છતાં ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર માટે મજૂરો માટે કોઈ પણ જાતની સુવિધા નથી.
The yard owners fraternity too has made its promises.
Within near future, within 2-3 months, we are coming with the huge project with the residential for the labor, and first phase of that labor colony is coming within two months. So then for as far as this, there are so many pay and use this bathrooms, and they are also working in the yard for the labor, and we are giving them a free of cost. With this, when this project will come, in commencing this labor colony is concerned, at that time they will get a theatre and then a playground and everything amenities, all amenities which we need for the one person.
Amidst promises of theatres and playgrounds, here's what the workers have to say.
पक्के मकान नहीं है, सब लकड़ियों की बनी हुई हैं जहाँ पर इंसान रहते हैं. मैंने एक आदमी से पूछा कि आप यहाँ पर अच्छा मकान क्यों नहीं कर लेते हैं या फिर अच्छा कुछ क्यों नहीं, तो बोलता है कौन यहाँ ज़िंदगी रहने वाला है. अरे ज़िंदगी भर नहीं रहते हो, लेकिन जब तक हो तब तक तो अच्छा से रहो. यहाँ पर जहाँ तहाँ कोई नालियों की व्यवस्था नहीं है, जहाँ तहाँ गंदगी है, पानी फेंक देते हैं, कचरा बहा देते हैं. इससे मलेरिया, डेंगू बहुत अधिक बीमारी होती है. यहाँ पर बरसात के मौसम में तो इतना कीचड़ हो जाता है कि जो झोला छाप डॉक्टर हैं उनको भी कमाई 1000-2000 का होता है.
इधर और कोई हॉस्पिटल नहीं है, एक जो है वो प्राइवेट है, उसमें भी बहुत खर्चा लगता है, इसीलिए ज़्यादातर इधर ही पेशेंट आते हैं. और ये संस्था इंडियन रेड क्रॉस सोसाइटी भावनगर चला रही है. सब ट्रीटमेंट फ्री में होता है. एक्सरे का 70 रुपया लगता है और कोई पैसा नहीं लगता है. और संडे के दिन छुट्टी रहता है, उसी टाइम ये लोग दारू और मांस मटन खा जाते हैं, उसमें भी झाड़ा ऐसा सब बहुत हो जाता है. वो भी सोमवार के दिन ज़्यादा पेशेंट रहता है. अस्पताल बना है सरकारी, लेकिन उसमें कोई डॉक्टर नहीं है, वो चालू ही नहीं हुआ है. मतलब जब से बना है तब से बंद ही है. और इधर जो पेशेंट को ज़्यादा लग गया तो 108 बुलाना पड़ता है, या तो एसोसिएशन का एम्बुलेंस है उसमें भावनगर सरटी हॉस्पिटल में ले जाते हैं. इधर एक ज़रूरत तो है एक सरकारी अस्पताल का.
All in all, an under-equipped charitable facility run by Red Cross and funded partly by plot owners and the GMB, an expensive private hospital, and a defunct government hospital that according to a shop owner at Alang, has seen 3 new coats of paints in its 10 years of existence, but no doctors or patients. How then are accidental injuries taken care of?
There are not too many accidents now, there's much improvement. But where we do have accidents, we are covered under workmen's compensation, and the labor gets medical treatment right away. We also provide it because it's good for the morale of all my fellow workers if they see that I'm looking after them. And we are definitely going to look after them. So we don't have that sort of real question come up that what happens when he gets hurt. If we have things like fractures, etc., then we are not, we are continuing with the person. We switch him to another job which is convenient, or if he gets rest, he gets rest.
Understandably, Mr. Khan Bhai was speaking for himself. Despite the presence of a safety officer on every yard, an afternoon at the Bhavnagar Labour Court painted a different picture of accidents and compensations. It was learned that every year sees up to 50 fresh cases claiming post-accident compensation. On an average, 20 cases of accidental death are filed annually.
मैं राम गोविंद रामजन प्रजापति का प्रतिनिधि हूँ। मैं इनका केस 2 बरस से लेबर कोर्ट में लड़ रहा हूँ। इनको प्रिया बुलू इंडस्ट्रीज में एक्सीडेंट हुआ था। एक्सीडेंट होने से दोनों हाथ टूट गया, और ऐसा तो कितना मेरे पास केस है। वर्कमैन कॉम्पनसेशन एक्ट में 30 दिन में बलतर जमा कराना चाहिए लेबर का, लेकिन ये कोर्ट में 5-5 बरस 10-10 बरस तक कोई बलतर जमा नहीं कराता है। ये राम गोविंद एक ही नहीं, कितना केस है, अभी सैकड़ों केस पेंडिंग है। जो कामदार का एक्सीडेंट हो गया है, कामदार को एक्सीडेंट का बलतर मांगने से नौकरी पर से भी निकाल देता है, लोग रोड पर रखड़ते हो जाता है। अलग में केस के सिवाय और भी बहुत, कोई भी मजदूर कायदा का अमल नहीं होता है। फैक्ट्री एक्ट का अमल नहीं होता है, आईडी एक्ट का अमल नहीं होता है, बोनस एक्ट का नहीं होता है, पीएफ एक्ट का अमल नहीं होता है। अमल में कोई भी मजदूर कायदा का अमल होता ही नहीं है।
So how does the workers' community respond to such uncertainty? Who do they turn to? One would assume a strong workers' union is one option.
As the situation has been changed very fast of late, especially after in the globalization era. Now what has happened is that on one hand, labor unions have become very weak, very docile wherever they have been in existence, and mainly they are resolving disputes through peaceful means such as negotiation. But so far as informal sector activities are concerned, and as you know 93% of the laborers are working in informal sector activities, unions is hardly in existence.
देखिए, हम तो यहाँ 2 साल से हैं। 2 साल के अंदर मैंने ये कुछ भी नहीं जाना कि यहाँ पर यूनियन नाम की कोई चीज़ है, और है भी तो वो हमारे लिए शायद ये ना के बराबर कुछ कर रही है। जहाँ तक मैंने देखा, यहाँ पानी की समस्या है। पानी सिर्फ प्लॉट नाम है कि हाँ यहाँ पानी है, लेकिन वो सिर्फ प्लॉट में दिया गया है, और 1-2 जगहों पर आदमी को उपलब्ध है। जहाँ तक कि हर एक लेबर के पास पानी पहुँचना मुश्किल है, जिससे इन आदमी श्रमिक जो हैं मजदूर, उन लोगों को पानी खरीद के पीना पड़ रहा है। यहाँ तक कि आप रेगुलरी देखिए तो महीने का 400-500 रुपये पानी में ही चला जाता है। और यूनियन नाम की कोई यहाँ पर कोई है, लेकिन कामगार नहीं है, उतनी परफेक्ट नहीं है। यहाँ पर जो है 100 GMB के नाम पर है। अगर आपको कोई किसी लेबर का कोई तकलीफ़ है तो वो GMB में एक एप्लीकेशन देता है, लेकिन उसकी भी कार्रवाई शायद नहीं होती है।
One man's theology is indeed another man's belly laugh. Workers dismiss the existence of a union. The union head grants us an interview.
Best achievement for this union, pension plan, and we are trying for that to every workers, those who are working here, they should at least get this PF, Provident Fund, Bhavishya Nidhi funds का benefits उनको मिले, और ये सब activities. Yeah, this is the only one union here till now, and this is a very successful union.
The workers' frustration is justified, their cynicism apparent, unfulfilled promises, and the absence of shared official documentation further complicate matters.
बहुत सारे आप लोगों जैसे कर्मचारी आए और गए, फिर भी आप लोग कुछ दिला नहीं पाए। आप लोग इन सभी पूंजीपतियों, प्रॉपर्टी डीलरों के साथ आप लोग बिक जाते हैं, और यहाँ पर हम लोगों को खाली चूतिया बनाने के लिए आप लोग जो है दिखावा देते हैं। इसलिए मैं आप लोगों से क्या ज़्यादा कहूँ हम लोग जो है बार बार जो है कि हम लोग यह फ़ोटो अगर किसी प्रॉपर्टी डीलर के पास भी जाएगा, वो आज नहीं तो कल हमको इस धक्के से निकाल कर बाहर लखेत देगा। जो मैं अपनी गरीबी का दिन गुजार रहा हूँ यहाँ पर, वो भी हमको हमारे लिए मुश्किल हो जाएगा। लेकिन फिर भी मैं हिम्मत रख कर के आपके सामने ये बात को बोल रहा हूँ। आप इसको देखिए और समझिए। लेकिन मैं तो उम्मीद रखता हूँ कि आप भी इसमें बिक जाएंगे इस प्रॉपर्टी डीलरों के साथ। आप भी जो है कि सही सलामत नहीं रहेंगे। जो आज यहाँ 20 बरस 22 बरस से रहने वाले लेबर हैं, उनको अभी तक यहाँ पर जो है जीएमबी ने न तो राशन कार्ड बनवाई, न निर्वाचन आयोग बनाई, कोई प्रूफ नहीं मिला है।
Rundown housing, arguable safety at work, severely inadequate health facilities, and lack of official documentation. A union deemed non-existent by workers themselves. The difficulty of saving up. And then there is the added component of being a migrant, an outsider.
Very interestingly, you would find at all the places like Surat or Bhavnagar, Mumbai, they have reproduced their own ethnic community at the place of destination. So the workers of Orissa, for instance, are living together in a slums at Surat. And not only that, but they have kind of there is a kind of a labor market segmentation has taken place at each of these places.
Like the state, the neighboring village of Manar has made the most of the benefits that Alang has to offer by way of subsidiary industries. However, taking in the men who bring them these benefits is still a touchy topic.
અમારા ગામમાં જે બહારથી આવે માણસો એ કુટુંબ સાથે આવે તો રહી શકે છે અને કુટુંબ વગરના જો આવે કદાચ તો એને કોઈ ગામમાં રહેવા ન દે. એનું કારણ બીજું હોય કે ભાઈ એ લોકો એકલા હોય તો ઘણી પ્રવૃત્તિ કે દારૂ વેચની હોય, કોઈ પણ ઓલા હોય અને એની ગુણવત્તા ખરાબ હોય તો ઘણી વખત અમારે એવા બે કિસ્સા બન્યા કે ભાઈ અમારા ગામની દીકરીને એ લઈને લોકો વૈયા ગયેલા છે બહાર, હજી એ પત્તોય નથી ક્યાં ગયા ક્યાં નહીં. એ લોકોને પૂરા સરનામા અમારી પાસે કોઈ પણ હોય નહીં એટલે એ લોકોને ગયા એટલે એ પછી એ હિસાબે અમારા ગામમાં કોઈ લગભગ બહારના એકલા હોય તો એને ન આપે, કુટુંબ સાથે હોય તો એને રહેણાંકની ઓલી આપે છે.
એમાં આ લોકો રહેવા આવ્યા છે તેની ગુજરાતીની મુશ્કેલી છે, બરાબર. પછી એ લોકોને ગામમાં રહેવા દઈ ભાડે આપ્યું હોય તો બેની દીકરીઓની ડિસ્ટ્રિક્ટ ટ્રેનની ખરાબ છે. પછી અલંગની ધર્મ અમે જઈએ ગુજરાતી લોકો ગમે તે તો એ લોકોની ભરતી થાય ત્યાં સુધી એવડા એ લોકોની ભરતી થાય છે, ગુજરાતીની ભરતી થતી નથી. પછી તો એને ભાડે કાંઈ પણ પ્લોટ આપ્યા હોય તો એ લોકોને રહેવા દે તો એ દાદાગીરી કરે અને ખાલી કરતા નથી. પછી બીજું કે ગમે ના ઝઘડો થયો હોય તો એ લોકો એક થઈ જાય છે, બરાબર, અને ગુજરાતી ઉપર મારો જાજો કરે છે. પછી બીજું કારણ કે એ લોકોને ક્યાંય પણ હરવા ફરવામાં જો આવતું હોય તો ચોરીનો દાવો વધારે છે.
અલંગ બ્રેકિંગ યાર્ડમાં સૌથી મોટામાં મોટું દૂષણ હોય તો એક નશાનું, અને એની સાથોસાથ નશા કર્યા પછી જે કહેવાય જાતીય સમસ્યાઓ. અલંગ બ્રેકિંગ યાર્ડમાં મેક્સિમમ જે મજૂરો રહે છે એ એકલા રહે છે અને તેને કારણે સેક્સ્યુઅલ તકલીફોથી પીડાતા હોય છે અને તેને કારણે ત્યાં આજુબાજુના ગામમાંથી એ જે કહેવાય વેજીટેબલવાળી મહિલાઓ જે ત્યાં આવે છે અને એની સાથે શારીરિક સંબંધો બાંધી અને દેહ વિક્રયનો ધંધો ચાલે છે. એમાં મોટા પાયા ઉપર એડ્સના રોગી બને છે. અલંગમાં એક ચોક્કસ વાત કરીએ તો અલંગ શિપ બ્રેકિંગ યાર્ડમાં કોઈ મજૂર કાયમ માટે અહીંયા રહેતો હોતો નથી. બહુ ઓછા મજૂર એવા હોય છે જે વર્ષોથી અલંગમાં કામ કરે છે, પરંતુ કોઈ 4 માસ અહીંયા રહે, 6 માસ વતનમાં જાય અથવા બીજા રાજ્યોમાં કામ કરવા જાય તો ત્યાંથી પણ એડ્સની બીમારી લાવી અને અહીંયા અલંગમાં આપે છે, અહીંથી વળી બીજાને આપે છે.
Project AIDS, a Bhavnagar blood bank initiative, was started by the National AIDS Control Organization in 1998. It has since worked on creating awareness about HIV and sexually transmitted infections, the identification, counseling, and presumptive treatment of respective high-risk groups. They are currently addressing homosexuality and female sex workers through peer educators.
पीयर एजुकेटर हमारे प्रोजेक्ट का मेन पाया है अगर पीयर एजुकेटर मजबूत है तो हमारा जो प्रोजेक्ट कामगिरी है वो भी मजबूत है। पीयर एजुकेटर बनाने के लिए हम लोग पूरे अलंग सोसाइटी में से हर एक राज्य में से अलग अलग पीयर एजुकेटर लिए हैं। अगर हमारा उड़िया है तो उड़िया में से लिए हैं, बिहारी है तो बिहारी में से पीयर एजुकेटर लिए हैं, यूपी का है तो यूपी में से पीयर एजुकेटर लिए हैं। पीयर एजुकेटर लेने से हमको ये फ़ायदा होता है कि कोई भी केपी है तो वो लोग उसके अपने स्थानिक भाषा में बात कर सकते हैं।
While the project aims to forge a sociable relationship with Alang's workforce, the same can hardly be said of the industry's equation with the media. Identifying and assessing wild claims made during the course of the media debate is largely at the discretion of the audience. Conversations with excise and customs officials at Bhavnagar revealed that reports of smuggling via Alang have been presumptive and duly apologized for by the concerned news outlets. However, the industry's blatant denial of all issues that are brought up makes it difficult to sympathize with those who control it.
This is the biggest problem what we feel that we are facing nowadays, that negative publicity of the media. We are not aware. They are coming and they take whatever inside the Alang. We don't mind it out because we are doing the shipbreaking as per our Honorable Supreme Court Guideline 2004. There is a perfect guideline how to do the ship recycling, so there is nothing to hide on that. I never heard any media like that how much natural resources we are saving. No, they don't want to talk on that. They don't want to see that how many laborers we are directly employed. Why the people are coming 2000 kilometers from Odisha or from Bihar over here? Why? That means how much we are paying. We are paying double of them. So we also requested to media that you come over here and see that what the Alang is there actually.
But perhaps wages that are higher than the pay earned by a farm laborer in Bihar do not quite cut it. Perhaps closing the area off to civilians is considered a defensive move by the industry.
ચોક્કસ કહી શકાય અલંગ શિપ બ્રેકિંગ યાર્ડમાં એક યા બીજી રીતે શિપ બ્રેકરો કંઈક ને કંઈક ટેક્સ ચોરી કરવા માટે, ખોટું કરવા માટે છુપાવતા હોય છે. એ જ રીતે અહીંયા ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર ડેવલપ કરવા માટે વાત કરીએ તો અધિકારીઓ પણ એને ઢાક પીછોડો કરતા હોય, ઢાંકવાની કોશિશ કરતા હોય. એને કારણે પણ મીડિયાને અલંગ શિપ બ્રેકિંગ યાર્ડથી અલગ એક રાખવામાં આવ્યા છે. ચોક્કસ પારદર્શકતા નથી. સેફ્ટી સલામતીના સાધનો બધા છે, પરંતુ સલામતીની દ્રષ્ટિએ જે કહેવાય કે ત્યાં અલંગ શિપ બ્રેકિંગ યાર્ડના દરિયાની અંદર જે કચરો જતો હોય અથવા જે કાંઈ કચરો નીકળે છે, જે યોગ્ય જગ્યાએ જે સૂચન કરવામાં આવ્યું છે તે જગ્યાએ નાખવાને બદલે પોતે જ્યાં ત્યાં નાખી કચરો સળગાવી દેવામાં આવે છે. એટલે એ માટે પણ ચોક્કસ અલંગમાં કોઈ મીડિયા કર્મીઓને અંદર પ્રવેશવા દેવામાં આવતા નથી. નોટિફાઈ એરિયા જાહેર કરેલ છે અને અથવા કોઈ એક યા બીજી રીતે છાનામાના આવ્યા હોય તો તેની પર પોલીસ ફરિયાદ કરી અને એને કહેવાય કે લોકઅપમાં મૂકી દેવામાં આવે છે. જે તે એજન્સી ગુજરાત મેરીટાઈમ બોર્ડ અથવા પોલીસ તંત્ર અથવા કસ્ટમ વિભાગ જે કહેવાય કે જે બધા અધિકારીઓ છે એ પોતે શંકાના દાયરામાં આવે ત્યારે કારણે મીડિયા કર્મીઓને અલંગમાં પ્રવેશવા દેવામાં આવતા નથી.
So what the owners say basically is that everything is hunky-dory, there is nothing wrong, that some accident are bound to happen in any site, any industry. And they think that people are very vengeful and that India is a growing country and everybody wants to sabotage that growth. But there are certain issues obviously that need to be talked about, and there is a certain responsibility that as an industry you have towards the people who are working for you, the environment which you may be damaging. And if you don't talk about that, if you don't point that out, then they're going to carry on doing the same things. Their unions are not talking about it. They certainly don't want to talk about it. But as journalists, if we can highlight some of these issues, then I think we should. Media sensationalizes all the time. I agree. That happens. That happens a lot in television also. But there is a lot of truth in where it is coming from. You go and you see for yourself what progress do you see in that place. There's no drinking water for the people hardly. They have a problem. The conditions in which they're living, it's not good.
Alang is only one case study of a larger issue that could soon become the story of 93% of India's workforce. The situation at Alang cannot be overlooked or considered acceptable just because similar scenarios are also found elsewhere. As is often the case, the problem is not lack of legislation, but lack of its implementation across industries that involve informal labor. The need of the hour is to ensure that the economic and social benefits generated by industry activities are better shared by the workers and local communities. While the workers do need to organize themselves better, it is important for us to realize that even resistance requires a society that is encouraged to come together, not one that is thrown together. Until that point is reached, we must make peace with the knowledge that 40,000 men hacking away at obsolete ships not too far from us are in fact forced to live out the lives of the very pieces of driftwood that they consider an inevitable burden.